Hey everybody,
Hi.
welcome to a brand new episode of Movie Boners. We have a pretty exciting one for you tonight, I think. Mostly because I kept a promise. I told everybody I'm gonna make you watch this movie, and you did. You did watch Megalopolis.
I watched it a couple times.
I really want to know what you think about it, but I also want to wait. So we'll maybe tease it. Did you hate it? Did you love it?
We'll find out.
Okay, we'll find out. Before we do that, I think you have a lot of things to say, probably. Before we do that, let's get into a couple of housekeeping things. We got to do the movie draft, of course, which not a ton has happened. Things have kind of stalled out lately.
Like, nothing's happened.
Nothing has really happened. I guess one thing that is a little alarming is that because I haven't had a movie come out since... And beginning of July 2nd was Jurassic World Rebirth. I did have Nobody 2 come out, but it has not made any money whatsoever.
No one's
really
gone to see it.
Yeah, nobody went and saw it. So I was, I think, close to $1 billion in the lead, and now it's more like $600 million. So it's slowly eating away, and I have to go until October 10th when Tron Ares comes out, and The Running Man right after that. Hopefully those buoy me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do still have my number 1, number 3, and number 4 overall picks, so hopefully they are good.
Well, we already know that Avatar is gonna be stupid.
It'll be decent. As it tends to be.
Right. But yeah.
The Caught Stealing, Darren Aronofsky's new movie came out, and it is on your team and well rated so far. Critics and audiences agree, which is they're both at 84-85%.
I don't know how I managed to get all of the like neutral or positive Rotten Tomato versus audience.
Yeah.
I don't
Fantastic Four, there's only a 4% difference.
It's
Superman, an 8% difference.
dumb.
Elio, a 7% difference. Sinners, a 1% difference. Mickey 17, 4%. Yeah,
I don't,
very small.
I don't get how this happened this time.
Except for your bench movie. So I know what you did last summer. 32% difference. That would have helped you if it goes into play for some reason. And then The Conjuring Last Rites just came out, and it's a 23% difference in the positive direction. So those would be good if they counted, but they currently do not. They're riding the bench. So yeah, that's where we are. I'm still winning, just for the record.
I'm still winning.
No real change there. And then, let's see, what else? Oh, one other thing while we're here. We did the roulette random 10 drawing recently.
We did.
Last episode, rather. And I told you all about kind of what movies we thought we were going to watch. There's one movie I can't find. And the only place it seems to be, they say it's on Netflix, but I'm not going to get Netflix, and I'm not going to make everybody else get Netflix to watch it. So I can't find the movie Our Love, which I guess is like a South African movie.
Oh, okay.
So I think we should spin another one. What do you think about that? Are you okay with that?
I think
so we'll do that real quick and add it to the list and then see what we get. Here's a cowboy movie. The Professionals from 1966. An arrogant Texas millionaire hires 4 adventurers to rescue his kidnapped wife from a notorious Mexican bandit. Sounds like a classic. I don't know anybody
Sounds
that's
like
in
one
it.
we should have already seen.
Yeah, probably. Hey, you've never seen The Professionals?
Never heard of it.
I have not either. I don't know who any of these people are. It kind of looks like, the Magnificent Seven, but with only 5 people on the cover. So maybe it's a pared down version or something.
Well, it shows. You said it's about four guys
4
to go and
adventurers.
rescue.
Yeah, 4 adventurers. I guess there's one chick who probably tags along. Looks like.
So it's the Magnificent Four.
Magnificent Four.
All right. The Professionals.
All right. So we will watch that and see how that goes. So yeah, so if you missed last time and you want to know what I'm talking about, you can go to our Instagram. I put it in our highlights, a list of all of the movies and where you can watch them. And I'm going to put a link for some of the ones that are harder to watch. Some of them are actually free on YouTube. One of them is on Tubi, but it's only in Spanish on Tubi, and it's actually only in English on YouTube. So go to Instagram and you can find out where to watch these 10 movies. We're going to watch them not talk about them next episode, because next episode we're doing the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Batman trilogy. But after that, we're doing all 10 of these random movies that we found, and it will be a very fun time.
It will be an interesting time for sure. Yes.
1966. Okay. So, beyond that, what new stuff have you seen?
Oh.
And then we'll get into the good stuff.
So, not counting the movie of topic today.
Yes.
I did go and see The Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
And it was hilarious. It's so funny. It was so great to watch a movie just completely lean into that level of absurdity again and stupidity. It was everything I wanted it to be. It was great. It really was. Yeah.
That's very excited. I'm really, really excited to see it.
I think you will really, really enjoy it. I think it doesn't ever try to like outdo the originals. It doesn't ever try to actually poke fun at that. They just leaned into it, which is exactly what they needed to do. So I was very happy with that movie. I loved it.
Good.
Yeah. What else did I watch? Oh, and then I saw The Thursday Murder Club, which is a new one on Netflix with Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren and a whole big cast that I'm blanking on names now. Anyways, it's an old people movie, Jake.
You love those.
I do love old people movies. It's about a bunch of old people who live in this like super high-end retirement home in England who get bored and try to solve old cold cases. And then there's a murder at the place that they decide will solve this one. And I enjoyed it because I like old people movies. And this was like, it's a nice, quiet, just pretty calm whodunit. Yeah, it was very pleasant. I really enjoyed it. So go watch it because old people movies are good. Don't judge me.
That sounds fun. Pierce Brosnan is impossibly handsome for being a quote-unquote
dude,
old
he's
man.
like full Irish.
Okay.
So it's his full Irish accent and everything. I loved it. It's Pierce Brosnan. How can you not like what he does? He's just fun to watch.
This movie's number 1 on the IMDb popularity.
That's because it was a joy.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know that I've ever seen a movie number 1 before. That's interesting.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I'm a little shocked that it's number 1 for popularity, but good on it. And then it's not a new movie, and I know I had seen it before, but I revisited it over this last week, and it got me thinking that you and I made an egregious snafu during our stunt episode from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I rewatched Ben Hur, the original Charlton Heston one.
Yeah. Classic.
How
epic.
you and I did not talk about the chariot race in that movie when we were glorifying stunts is beyond me, because wow.
Yeah. I still remember first seeing it as a kid and seeing the blades on the wheels and everything, and it just like burned into my brain of how exciting and terrifying that was.
Dude, that movie is incredible. By the way, people, go watch Ben Hur. Charlton Heston one, not that weird remake from 2014 or whatever it was. I forgot just how huge that movie is.
Yeah.
But I was all
monumental.
For it. So I had to bring that up because I was like watching that chariot race and just being like, how they filmed this, the stunts during this, all of it. How did we not mention this movie? This is incredible.
Yeah. I think I saw clip of it not that long ago, and I was like, that movie still looks like it looks amazing.
It's
like
so
production
good.
quality and everything holds up, I'm sure.
It's so good. It's, oh my goodness. But yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
that's what I watched. What about you?
Okay. I watched 3 things also.
Oh.
I watched Together, the Dave Franco, Alison Brie, who are married in real life, but they're in this horror movie together movie.
Okay.
And it's good.
Oh,
it's really
okay.
good. I was very intrigued in it, intrigued in the story, and intrigued in their performances. I really, really liked it. And it's best, I think, not to know anything about it. All I knew about it was the poster where their eyes are super close together.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, that looks cool. And it is cool, but it's really, really interesting. It's kind of body horror basically, but I feel like I liked this movie way better than I liked The Substance, which seemed like they were pushing a message. I feel like Together has kind of a handful of messages you could take from it,
Okay.
but they all could conflict. Like anybody could pull out different messages if they wanted to from it. And I think that's really cool. It's it doesn't lean or push really on anything other than, I guess, their relationship together as this married couple going through this thing. So really, really good, really, really interesting, really weird at times, but pretty cool. I really liked it. And then, I guess, speaking of weird, pretty cool things that I really liked, I watched a movie that just came out, I think, called Primitive War, which is that it's like if the movie Predator and Jurassic Park had a baby.
Okay.
There's these like special ops guys, Marines or whatever, who are sent on this mission to rescue or find out what happened to a bunch of Green Berets. And they get there and there's just dinosaurs in this jungle and hunting them and killing them and all of this stuff. And they sort of have to like fight their way out. And it's really, really cool. And so, you know, it's just, I feel like the longer it went on, I was just still like super into it, but I could see some people being like, okay, the trope has worn thin or it doesn't do like many different things with it. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It does kind of know what it is at times too, where it is like, yeah, it's us running around in the forest with dinosaurs and guns. It's cool. But it also, I think, plays it seriously enough. There's like the first action scene with the special ops guys. They just go into a village and like rescue people or kill bad guys and stuff. And it reminded me a lot of Tears of the Sun and how great that village scene is. It's just like, I don't know, orchestrated well and done well. Like it's seriously done, but also there's dinosaurs and they're fighting dinosaurs. So it's, as far as gimmicks go, it's a fun, cool gimmick. I think.
I love how you did that. But also there's dinosaurs. So
yeah. So yeah, I would recommend Primitive War. It was cool.
All right.
And then last thing, I watched a documentary, which is insane. I think it's pretty popular now. I've started seeing memes and stuff coming from it, so it might get spoiled for people if you don't watch it soon. I think it's on Netflix, but I'm not sure. It's called Unknown Number, the High School Catfish.
Oh, I almost watched that, and then I chose not to.
Yeah. It's crazy. So it's about this random girl in a super small town that just starts getting text messages from an unknown number, but then it starts like constantly sending her messages and very personal, that like they know a lot about her and trying to break up her and her boyfriend and saying the meanest things, really, really mean things. And just, it just takes a mental toll on her. And so they're trying to figure out who did it, who's involved. Like, is it this girl? Is it this clique? Is it this, like judgmental person? Is this cousin? Is it whatever? And it just goes down this rabbit hole. And it's just where it ends up, I never would have guessed. And it just blew my mind. It's insane. It's horrible. And it's really, really insane. So, but well done. If you like those kinds of documentary things, that was crazy. And that's it.
Nice.
And then I finally finished Megalopolis because I started it before. I told you need to watch this, and I stopped it and watched the rest of it. Watched the whole thing a couple of times to really get my head around it.
For a second, I was like, You mean I watched it twice?
No, no, I watched it from beginning to end at least 2 times, and then I kind of randomly here and there to try to figure out some things because I still am not the most clear on some of it. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna try to explain it. We're also gonna try it. We're gonna spoil it. So if you haven't seen it, which is weird to say, I should bring up. It's hard to find and watch Megalopolis primarily because. So not a lot of people have seen it. I was looking at IMDb. It has a 4.7 on IMDb, and then on Rotten Tomatoes, it's one of those rare cases where critics say it's rotten, but at a 45%, but then the audience says it's even worse at a 34%. Usually it's like audiences are way more forgiving of movies than critics are.
Yeah.
But it only has 500 audience reviews and 300 critic reviews. So not very many people have watched it that care to review it. And I think that's primarily because Coppola released it in theaters and then it was briefly on streaming and then he pulled it off streaming and says, no, this movie needs to be seen in a theater. It can only be seen in a theater. He also had a deal with American Airlines where you could watch it there. And then I think he pulled it off of that.
Those have to be some long flights because this was not a short movie.
He started touring the country and going to some of the screenings and showing it in theaters for a while. But then literally right before I came on here, I Googled Megalopolis to pull up some tabs for it. And I found this page that says it's coming back to streaming this month in September. I think right now, at the time that we're recording this, September 4th, the day before today, it should be on Apple TV Plus now and possibly more services in the future. So if you didn't see it, you should watch it before you listen to all of this because we're going to get into it. But also, I don't know that we can ruin it or make it better. Really.
I don't know.
It is what it is. It's a thing that you really only have to see it to experience it. And then once you experience it, then you can really talk about it.
Then you're kind of like, but that happened.
If you hear us talking about it, you might be like, that can't be what's on screen, or that sounds really strange. I should go see it. And you should, I think. I would not let the 4.7 deter you. I think maybe that's what this episode is about, is to check it out, the movie, and try to determine if it's just a misunderstood artwork masterpiece, potentially. Okay. A sleeping masterpiece from the creator of The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, or if it sucks, or what's going on with it. I don't know. What do you think?
I think 4.7 is generous.
I did not think that there was going to be a universe where you were going to come on here and say, I really like this movie.
I really did not. I found myself, okay, that being said, I found myself during the first 10 minutes of the movie with that opening with him stopping time and then where she's watching them do the demolition of the building and she sees him stop time again. Just those two setups, I will give the movie credit with those where I was like, oh, this might actually be a really interesting, this could be cool depending where they go from there.
This seems really critical to the plot.
Yeah. And then the next scene's this weird disco rave place. It's not a disco.
It's a discotheque.
It's a big, obnoxious, loud club.
You know where it is? It's going to the club. That's what Adam Driver does.
I'm leaving.
Is it Adam Driver does?
Yeah, it takes a hard left into what? Why? What? I found myself, for a movie that's 2.5 hours, just shy of 2.5 hours, right? Yeah. I found myself thinking wow, Francis Ford Coppola really doesn't have it anymore. I was thinking of Apocalypse Now, and I was thinking of The Godfather, and even Bram Stoker's Dracula. I was those are good. They look great. They're fun. Fun might be. Dracula's fun. Apocalypse Now is not fun, but it's a good movie. But yeah, it was just like, maybe this movie should not be found for reasons.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing because I was like, there's a certain cachet that comes with Francis Ford Coppola, but it really is just because of The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. I was looking at his IMDb page because I don't know that I can name any other of his movies other than Jack, because we just did the Robin Williams episode.
About that one, yeah.
He's made 31 movies, and I know 4 or 5 of them. I don't know any of the other movies he's made, so I don't. That seems more like an anomaly of good movies, not a master director. And I don't know how many of those other ones he wrote too. He definitely wrote this movie, and it seems to have been a very personal thing to him. That's partly, I think, why he took it out of streaming and wanted to be in a theater and wanted to like be at the shows and stuff, because he had an idea for retelling this Catalerian conspiracy in modern New York since 1977, and he's been trying to make the movie since 1983, and he tried in 1989 and he had like a bunch of box office failures, so they weren't going to fund it. And then he tried in 2001, but big movies in New York weren't doing very well after 9/11 in 2001.
That's true.
And then now people still didn't want to fund it, and so he decided to do what everybody would do, is start making wine, and turn a successful wine business into $120 million, and then put that into making this movie, which is most of the $136 million budget was his own money.
Yeah, it's like $120 million was his own, which is insane. Like, hey, Francis, if you're just throwing money away like you did with this movie, you might as well give it to us.
Right. Yeah. And I think that he spent a lot of money, like almost all of his money, and he's never going to get it back. So,
no.
And I don't know that he'll ever get another movie funded either. So this may be the end of Francis Ford Coppola.
Well, I saw that they are considering this like his farewell, his swan song kind of movie.
Okay.
His finale. Which, buddy,
yeah,
not the one I would want to end my career on, but that's, I guess, my choice. I was definitely taken off guard with the cast. I did not expect like Shia LaBeouf to show up. I didn't expect Jon Voight to show up. Which
is big. The most frustrating one for me is Dustin Hoffman.
Hoffman shows up.
Like 4 lines, and then he's killed off screen that you'd never see happen as part of the current flow of the movie.
Unless you're paying attention to their names and keeping track of who's who, because there's a lot of names. I didn't even realize they killed him off until I watched it the second time and heard them say his name, and was like, oh, IMDb, like, oh, they killed off Hoffman. That's why he stopped showing up. Okay. And his final line is the dumbest final line of all time, where he's like, was it thunder scares the crap out of me or something like that?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Poor Jon Voight. Like, the scene that I was just, I shake my head at pretty much the whole movie. But the scene where they're at the new Coliseum and I can't remember if it's during the wrestlers or if it's while the chick is singing on the moon chair thing. But Jon Voight is standing there doing like this weird decrepit old man like dance. And it's just one shot, but I'm like, I think they exploited an old guy just for his name for like this shot. Like, I felt bad for Jon Voight in this movie. He even looked like, why am I here?
Yeah. He doesn't seem like he has too much to do other than be this old pasty patriarch of this family, basically.
Right.
This movie just doesn't go where I think I expected it to go. Also, the movie doesn't go where it tells you that it's going, which is my main concern. Because at the very beginning of it, the opening is that, and I was into this idea. I was into the idea of seeing America as this new Roman Empire and being set in modern day and focusing on the writing on the wall that he pulls up. Where is that? Hold on. I have this here. What's happening here? So yeah, our American Republic is not at all different from old Rome. Can we preserve our past and all of its wondrous heritage, or will we fall victim, like old Rome, to the insatiable appetite of the power of a few men? I was like, okay, so it's going to be about a power struggle between these few different people and who's going to become the leader of this thing and where the city goes, and is it going to crumble with the instability of the leadership and all that stuff? The movie doesn't do that at all. Like, it starts going that direction.
I mean, there is a power struggle, but
there's a power struggle, but then about an hour and a half into the movie, I was like, this is a completely different movie now. All of that stuff kind of stopped happening, and now we're just watching Adam Driver make a magical city, Utopia, that has airport walkways everywhere.
It's full of people movers that they're calling magic. But I was like, you go to every airport in the country, you're going to use one.
It looks like a hologram of water, and we're
gold.
Jumping around. It's gold, but he tells that lady with the soon to be mother-in-law lady, he's like, this will get you to the park in 5 minutes, but it goes like this. I'm like, you've gone 6 feet in the last 30 seconds. That's not happening unless the park's right there, you know? Yeah. This is not he's such a weird character. Maybe we start at the characters, because following Adam Driver as Caesar, what's his face? Caesar Catalina. He is the protagonist of the film, I believe. But he has and does so many things. You already mentioned the time stopping thing.
Yeah, that's how the movie starts, is him stopping time.
Yeah, so you know what it reminded me of? When he's on that roof and he stops time and then it kind of moves on, I was like, this feels like, what's that, Jumper? Is it Jumper, where it's like weirdly futuristic with Hayden Christensen?
I remember watching that movie, but I don't remember the movie.
It's a notoriously poorly reviewed.
Does that movie end at a cave or on a
maybe
cliff?
Yeah, Jumper, 2008, Hayden Christensen. It's just weirdly sci-fi, weirdly I have this power, and now I'm gonna do these cool things, and it's cool because it's cool kind of thing. That's what it kind of felt like, and just the media vibe. And maybe that's why I'm like, is this cool or is it not cool? Let's see where it goes. I agree with you that it's an interesting way to set it up. And then when she sees him in the car and he demolishes that building, that's the other thing. He has this weird job where he oversees building demolition, but then people are mad at him for demolishing buildings.
What do they call it? It's like the name of the job, but now I can't remember what his company, or it's not a company. It's like a branch of the new Roman government. It's like design something. Design authority. Design authority.
Oh wow. Okay.
I told you. I had
way to pull that out
twice.
I get the impression that he was very private sector and not at all associated with the government and the mayor. That he and his uncle, the main John Voight Hamilton Crassus the third guy, who runs I think a bank or banks, multiple banks maybe. I got the impression they were all very private enterprise, and then that's why they're at odds with the mayor, because the mayor should be the political leader of the whole city, but everybody kind of no, this whole family really runs things. Even the mayor doesn't really have any power. That's what it's kind of seemed like.
Oh, I just thought
I don't know why. I don't know why he's responsible for the building demolition. You do find out later why he's demolishing a bunch of parts of the city to build his utopia. Mm-hmm. But at this point, you're this is just a guy that can stop time. He's in charge of this building demolition. He stops time during it, and then she sees him, but she doesn't seem affected by the time stopping because she can still look around and observe it. Nobody else seems aware that he did it.
Right.
And then you find out when she tells him later on, he's amazed that she knows that he did it, and that kind of makes them friendly, I guess. But then he won. There's a brief clip where he won a Nobel Prize for a miracle building material.
Yeah, it's the stuff
claims
that
will last forever.
Well, that's what he uses to build the utopia. It's the Megal something. That's why they're calling his new town or his new city Megalopolis, is because he's building it out of that material that he founded or created or
he invented it.
Yeah.
He's like a architect slash inventor slash time wizard, I guess.
They never explain any of.
Yeah, no, not really. I really thought the time stopping would be critical to the story.
So did I.
That would be a thing that he would need to use at an important moment in time.
The most critical that it ever becomes is for him and the chick to make out on the beams.
Yeah. Because he gets her to like be a time wizard too, kind of.
She does?
Well, she knows that he's doing it, and he loses his power.
Yeah. Because then she does it like towards the end, if I remember right.
Yeah, and he loses his power at one point, and then she like helps him get it back
because
basically.
It's true love. Because she's like, "Do it for me," and he's like,
"Right,
okay, stop time," and then it does, and he's like, forces himself on her, and they're making out on the beams, hanging out over the city. Which I thought was interesting.
I wouldn't say forces himself on her. She's definitely into it.
She is. The movie is very handsy. It's kind of a gross movie.
Yeah. There's unnecessary sexuality for sure in a lot of cases. But I think that speaks to the Roman debauchery that it apparently is famous for.
Right. Which that part I kind of get, but I was like, there are many moments I was like, why? Like, what's the... We don't need this. The whole shtick with Shia LaBeouf and Aubrey Plaza, I was like, this is... okay. So...
Yeah. And they definitely allude to, you never see it, but they allude to Shia LaBeouf just being a party boy, fuck-up character.
Yeah.
And they mention a couple of times that he's, like, incestuous or into his sister or cousin. I don't know who that lady is. She's not... I don't think she even has a name in the character list. But...
I couldn't even really keep up with all the characters, but...
But yeah, Shia LaBeouf is interesting and weird as the cousin of Adam Driver's Caesar character and the actual son of...
John Voight.
John Voight, yeah. So he's like the actual son, the heir apparent to the banking empire.
Yeah.
But Adam Driver's kind of like the actual success of the family.
Of the family, yeah. Even though his mom hates him for being successful?
Yeah. Being successful and not like mentioning her or bringing her with him or I don't know. She's like, you didn't thank me when you got your Nobel Prize.
That's right.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
She's like,
no, you're not.
I'm going to play with your head and then kiss it and walk away awkwardly.
Yeah. You never see his dad. I don't know if he has a dad or what the story is there. It's never really mentioned. And then maybe it's Lawrence Fishburne. Maybe it's the driver. It's just she had this affair with the driver.
That's why he's like driving him around.
Yeah. And so Lawrence Fishburne is the narrator of the movie, semi-historian on the side who's like journaling of his memoir, I guess, of working for this family.
Breaking the fourth wall, but not, but yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's really just his driver and butler, basically. And then Aubrey Plaza is Wow Platinum, who is just like a entertainment TV personality, trash TV kind of host, I guess.
So there was a moment in the movie.
Overall whore.
Very much. Let's see here. there was so much going through my head after the opening scene with the time, because I was expecting that to be, like you said, like, this is clearly very important to the plot. This is how the whole movie is starting. He's like trying to commit suicide, but he stops time to stop himself, which is interesting. Cool. And then it goes from that to, like, I don't know, to the party scene, to everyone, like the city gathered into a mock-up building of the demolition site, or where they're gonna.
I was
build
not clear
the
on what that dark space was and why everybody's up on the scaffolding and what's down below.
But yeah, it was like they're on the scaffolding looking at the model below. I was assuming, but not sure.
There's like a model up there with them.
But there was a model up there with him. Everyone's on the scaffolding, and then there's a lot of shouting and screaming of politics, and Adam Driver's like
quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah, like he does a whole soliloquy. And and it was that moment I was like, what am I watching? Is this going to be like the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet, where like it's going to be old-timey dialogue set in modern / futuristic time? I was very confused. And then Aubrey Plaza started to sing, and I was like, oh no. Don't be a musical. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this if it turns into a musical. It's not. And I was barely able to watch it twice. But
there are 2 songs. It depends on how you define a musical. Yeah. The scaffolding thing, just staying on that for a second, it speaks to one of my main criticisms of the movie that takes me out of it, because there were times I wanted to be into it, and I'll get into other reasons why, but the things like that, the scaffolding for no real reason or not really sure what's going on or what we're looking at, speaks to a larger problem that I think the movie has, which is doing too much just for looks. Like, this looks kind of interesting but has no real reason for existing.
No substance to it.
Like when he takes her to the top of the skyscraper and there's a clock on the floor, like the roof of the building is a clock. It's laying horizontal where no one in the world will ever see it. Why is that there? That's my question.
Maybe it's up there for the planes passing by so they can check the time.
Make sure they're on time. Yeah, maybe. There were so many things like that.
The movie is full. It's not that there's so many things. The movie is nothing but that. Where it was like... it was like he was attempting to make an epic. Forgot what plot is. And just edited everything together and hoped for the best.
Yeah. And the way the movie was marketed was that this is an incredible experience like you've never seen before, like visually unbelievably like unique and new and interesting.
And
it's really not. And also I wish it didn't do a lot of the things that it did because it took me out of the story. The other part was when the satellite's falling and it's on fire up in the sky, but there's shadows of the people on the buildings.
Yep.
As if the fire is already on the ground, projecting on the buildings. I was like, that doesn't make sense. That's not how that works. If the fire is in the sky, you're not going to see shadows of the people on the ground on the buildings.
See, you were worried about that. I was trying to figure out, like, when did they talk about the satellite falling? Because that's like over halfway through the movie.
They showed a satellite once before.
They show a satellite once.
And I'm like, it has like a Soviet-Russian symbol on it. I'm like, oh, there's going to be Russians in this movie.
And that's it.
No, there's no Russians in this movie.
And then like you're over halfway through the movie and Jason Schwartzman, in possibly the most pointless role in the history of Hollywood films, comes running in.
Amazingly more pointless than Dustin Hoffman's role.
It's true. Comes running in and goes, the satellite's gonna or how does he put it? He's like, you know how we thought the satellite was gonna fall into this part? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, like Labrador or something.
Right. And he's like, well, do we know where it's gonna fall? No. But then it falls on the city. And I was like, so is the city the whole country now? Or what? Like,
I think that it was going to fall near them. I think Labrador, I didn't look at a map, but I'm pretty sure it's near New York in Canada. It's one of those islands, I think. And so I think they're like, it's going to fall in Labrador. It's Canada. Nobody cares. There's nobody up there. Maybe a moose. No people. But then it didn't quite make it that far, and it fell on New York instead.
Right. And then it's like built up to be this crazy dramatic. I mean, dialogue goes away. It's super drama.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a tragedy.
Yeah, like a huge tragedy. And I found myself being like, was I supposed to pay attention to the satellite? Like, did they talk about this? And then I thought, do I have to rewatch all of this to find out where the satellite came from? It's like, please no. And then I thought,
from the sky.
Right. And then I was like, am I supposed to care that it's burning up a block of the city?
When it comes into the mayor's office and it's like all dark, and it seems like this is a new act or something has changed. Like things are getting bad. Something has happened. The whole movie's going to take a turn now. And then that happens. And there's that big dramatic, fire in the sky, fire in the city, people shadows on the buildings thing. And then the next scene is like nothing happened. Like nobody's affected. Not even the characters we've been following are affected.
Like they don't even mention impact. No. They don't even mention loss of life.
We had like the street was closed because there was a satellite. Nobody says anything.
Like the most that you see besides shadows on the building is a car drives and then there's smoke.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not important whatsoever.
Not important at all. Much like I thought there was going to be more to Aubrey Plaza's character and John Voight's, where it was like they keep replaying her interview with him as if you're supposed to be picking up on stuff other than he's just a creepy old man hitting on his reporter lady and she's totally for it.
Yeah.
I was expecting like, oh, so she's going to be used for the corruption to like, she's going to be this pawn. And then it just turns into, nope, she's just really annoying for 2 hours.
She just wants to be whoever's in power's mistress.
Right.
So that she can be adjacent to
And
power,
then I was I found myself, the second time I watched it, I was like, when she starts talking about how she controls the banks and all this stuff, I found myself being like, have I really not been paying any attention to what's going on, or is there really nothing coherent happening? Because I was like, when did the banks get brought in?
It was about that point towards the end of the movie. I was like, oh, I think John Voight is like he works for a bank or something. Or owns the bank, maybe.
Wait, there's so much I think I was supposed to.
Maybe that's me trying to fill in the holes in the plot where I'm like, he's rich, they're powerful, he must own a bank, I guess. He must have
the bank. It's like, okay. And then I was like, so Shia LaBeouf, his character, is he like more than just oh, woe is me, like horny, incestuous party boy, but now he's a political activist? Is he just going for daddy's like attention, or does he care about this stuff? And then I was like, when did he goes through so many different looks, and what's the point of half of this? And
that's a good point and a good question, because he doesn't have any sort of character, really.
No.
His character is very surface visually, I'm a party boy guy, and then decides randomly to get into politics to get power, I guess because he's jealous of Caesar or doesn't like Caesar.
Like, I feel like he hated Caesar.
Because he sees like Caesar tearing down the parts of the city, and he sees the people affected by it. He's like, these guys are the power. You have to get the people on board or whatever. And that's when he decides to go into politics. But that seems like the only reason is because he wants to be better than Caesar or something, I guess. But there's just absolutely no motive, no backstory, no I don't know him at all other than he's weird.
And he's wearing like the worst wig in Hollywood history.
I think you could say that about all of the characters other than Adam Driver's character, Caesar. I think you get kind of a glimpse into who he is because he puts on this facade of being a bad boy or not caring or whatever, but he is really masking that his wife died and he actually wants to care and actually wants to love and actually wants to help the city and all that stuff. And I think you get all those pieces, but you don't really get that for
anyone.
What's her face? His wife, girlfriend, the girl from Game of Thrones. You don't get that for Aubrey Plaza or even the mayor, Giancarlo Esposito, who's really great, but you don't get much other than he loves his daughter.
And hates Caesar.
Yeah, everybody hates Caesar.
Everyone hates Caesar. Yeah, like all the screaming and arguing was pretty incoherent to me, where I was like, did they even have actual lines, or were they just told to like repeat like American politic debate shows? Or because that's what it seemed like to me. I will say there was one scene late in the movie that I was like, that was interesting. Like, could this be the moment the movie actually like comes together, where all of a sudden it's going to make sense, like big reveals, this will be cool, let's tie some loose ends, because there's way too many.
The whole movie's loose ends.
Right. It's when the kid asks him to sign the book, and I thought,
yeah,
this isn't like, that's actually, I'm going to give him credit, because that scene is set up well, it's shot well. It's very interesting. It's probably the only scene of the movie that actually had my full attention. I was also trying to figure out, like, he keeps like saying the kid's name so purposefully, like the way he just keeps repeating Sam after every sentence. And I was like, this seems something's big here. There's not. Like,
well, it could have been.
It could have been.
I thought that scene is where the whole movie was going. I thought the whole point of the movie is that Caesar is this guy who wants to build up this utopia, but everybody else wants his power, and they're not really trusting him that it's going in a good direction.
Right.
And it will lead up to this conspiracy or this assassination or whatever, and he won't be able to do it. And the corruption or the fall of humanity, the real icky part of life is that we can't like get out of our own way and actually find success in that way. We just keep making the same mistakes. So I thought that was the whole point, and that he would die at the end of the movie as be assassinated and all that stuff. So that scene happens, and I was super into it.
Right, because it's a
like,
cool
this is
scene.
really interesting.
Like, all right.
And I was like, we have an hour left of this movie, and I don't really know where it's going to go. And kind of like the satellite thing, it doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter at all. And
because he's shot in the face, has his whole skull and brain and skin and bone and muscle all blown away, and they rebuild him in 5 minutes.
They like reanimate him using his invented material, which was to me kind of like, okay, even like comic book writers who have free range on absolutely everything and anything.
Yeah.
I feel still have the sense to be like, something we invent doesn't just magically
solve all our problems.
Every little thing, including reanimate the dead. Like,
right.
And then
I thought it was a strong building material.
Right. Like, I thought this was like a new metal, but apparently it's not. We do get a scene that, of all the stupid dialogue and stupid scenes in this movie and eccentric moments with Adam Driver, which I will say he was entertaining to watch, because I still can't figure out if his performance is genuine and trying to be kind of like this artsy character, or if Adam Driver just knew how stupid this movie was and how no one was going to watch it, so he just was like, I'm going to portray how I feel about the movie, which is just, who cares? It's kind of how I took his performance.
It's very hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
He is definitely good, easy to watch. I did see a thing. I saw one thing. I didn't like cross check it or verify it, but I saw one thing online that it seems like he believes in the movie or believes in the story or believes in it being whatever it's meant to be.
Okay.
Whether it's that or not, that he was very supportive and complimentary to Coppola and grateful for being a part of it, it seemed, which is good. I think that he did as best he could with what he had, and is probably the best part of the movie. He is.
Yeah. But we do get that scene where he shows up like with the bandage over half of his face, right?
Yeah.
And Aubrey Plaza comes and kneels down next to him as she's trying to exploit him. And I don't know.
Not just exploit him. You finish your thought, but then we have another path.
Sure, she wants to do all the things to him. And to Shia LaBeouf. And to, well, not so much John Voight. That might be the most coherent moment for her. Anyways, I don't know why, of all the lines in the movie that are just absurd and just random and dumb, but there's one moment that has just like stuck in my head. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't understand it, or it's so loud or so obnoxious, but it's Adam Driver right when she kneels down and he's just like, no, no, no. No, no, no.
Yeah.
And then they take the bandage off and his skull's glowing gold. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Because WoW, which is a ridiculous name, froze all of his accounts and assets. And now he can't do whatever he's trying to do. Pay his medical bills, I guess. Or build a utopia.
Build the utopia. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't get out the nose from my head. I just like...
Nose have that effect. I mean, you have Darth Vader, there's a lot of great nose in cinema.
Speaking of, sorry. My daughter wanted to go on a Star Wars binge.
Okay, sure.
Hey, it does connect because Adam Driver was in Star Wars. So, hey.
Yeah, very Darth Vader adjacent.
Anyways, so we watched the prequels. Episodes 1, 2, and 3. And during episode 2, I was like, it ended, and my daughter and I looked at each other, and we were both like, we still don't know what this movie's about. Like, what's the point of this movie? No clue. And then we started episode 3, and we can't take that movie serious. We were laughing so hard during the entire thing. I haven't watched it since our Star Wars episode when we first started this whole thing. But rewatching it, and then the nose scene came up, and I had told myself before watching it, like, maybe it's not as bad as I remember it being, because it's been a few years since I watched it.
Sure.
And I was like, maybe I won't hate it as much because my daughter's here. But my daughter was already losing it. Like, the whole lava planet scene, that whole, like, from that moment on, my daughter was up and mocking the lines as they were saying. Like, she's quoting the movie, dying of laughter, and just saying, like, I can't take this movie serious. It's the worst movie ever.
Yeah.
And then Vader gets up and does the no, and we both agreed. It's the most egregious, like, sin in Hollywood. Of, like, there is no worse scene than Vader doing the no.
Yeah.
Of course, my daughter hasn't watched Megalopolis, which is 2.5 hours of just bad scenes. But anyways, yeah, you just had to bring up the Vader no. But yeah, no's in movies are...
Yeah, screenwriters, pay attention. Maybe avoid that in the future.
Maybe we don't try to do dramatic scenes with no.
Yeah. You know what else you should avoid is ambiguous powers, superpowers that may or may not apply, be relevant. I don't know. We already talked about the time control that Caesar has. But so when, what's her name? Julia, the mayor's daughter, first like goes to his place and she lets slip that she saw him use his power. And he's like, oh, you're interesting. I'll actually give you the time now. You don't have to go back to the club. He takes her to like this model that he's having people build with cardboard boxes and balls, like sports balls and things, and has her walk through it with her eyes closed. but she can like see what he intends this city, Megalopolis, to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that she has a power to have that perceptive ability, or do you think he, with this other non-time related power, was able to like make her see?
I didn't take that as a scene with any power.
Did you consider it at all?
No power at all. I thought she's imagining what it will look like based on how he has described it.
She has her eyes closed.
Yeah.
And I got the impression that what she's describing, seeing it all, is all the things that he has planned and does want it to be, that he has envisioned this thing and he's laid it out and he has this thing, but she doesn't know anything about it, but she can see what it's meant to be. And that's when she kind of starts believing in him and wants to work for him. Right?
Right. I didn't take it as a power thing. I thought they were just trying to be...
How else would that work?
Because the writing's so bad that I just kind of assumed like...
This doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was like, so this won't go anywhere either.
Well, you're kind of right. So the other power in the movie, though, is Wow. It becomes like a witch later and starts hypnotizing people.
One scene that it...
She does it 2 times.
She does it twice.
Well, she tries to do it. She tries to do it a second time. She tries to do it to... Who should do it to? She does it to Shia LaBeouf's character, right?
Well, she tries to do it. She tries to do it, and that's when she...
Well, she doesn't hypnotize him with her butt.
She kind of does.
No, she does it... She does. You're right. No, she does it with Jon Voight. That's how she gains power to like all the accounts. Yeah, because
they do that stupid shot where it's like her reflection in the cauldron, I guess.
Yeah.
And her face is like spinning around as she's like chanting. And
yeah.
It's like...
And so she manipulates Jon Voight through this magic, I guess. And then when when Adam Driver, Caesar shows up about the accounts, the no scene, she is down and she like pulls off her necklace and starts like waving it like a cliche watch that a hypnotist would do. But she pulls it off because
she's like, I'll get rid of these. These don't matter.
No, she is very intentionally, I'm about to hypnotize you.
I don't want to rewatch it, but I'm...
And then I think Shia LaBeouf comes in the door and like she has to stop. She doesn't get to hypnotize Caesar because she tries to, for sure.
Oh, see, I took that as she was like so desperate for Caesar to like be up in her that she totook off the pearls.
I don't think she's gonna give him a BJ in the foyer. I think she's. Hey, that rhymed. I think that she was very, because the like necklace I think glows or something. There's a visual
pulls
indication.
It off to the side
and wiggles it like
she does this like these don't matter. I don't care about the diamonds, because she's like, I love you, Caesar.
Maybe now that you're saying that, that's
because
possible.
She even says in the elevator when she stops it with what's her bucket, and she's like, 3 things you need to know, and she does the 1, and they do like a whoosh, kind of like sound effect, which okay.
Yeah,
the random sound effects that have no, I was like, I think there's like a squeaky nose sound, like a clown nose, like a at one point. I still don't understand.
There's like weird. There were some like weird circusy sounds.
Yeah,
that I think were supposed to evoke some sort of feeling,
and some kind. And then you get that weird Cirque du Soleil style dance, acrobatic.
The Adam Driver blue and red.
Yeah, and then he's like. Tripping, getting in fights.
Yeah, doing this. Yeah, tripping on drugs, not tripping on the sidewalk.
Right. And then he shows up in just his underwear covered in blood, and they're like...
I thought it was going to do a Joker walk
like
down
dance down the stairs.
Yeah. That's what it seemed like at first.
Hey, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Then, so she does like the 3 where she's like... Old dude Jon Voight belongs to me. And then she says something else that I wasn't paying attention to. And then she's like, and 3rd, Caesar belongs to me. And they do like the knife sounds because she's like cutting to the heart or something.
Yeah. Something like that. And then she does like a boss bitch walk out of the elevator. Like, I run this town kind of thing.
I'm Aubrey Plaza. I'm trying to do new roles, but they're all the same role.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, moving on from that. Let's see what else we got. So there are, I think one of the main critiques I have, and I think that is the main problem or the main thread throughout that speaks to everything we've complained about so far, but overall there are even other things that I just think that, so I think there are ideas that work, and I'll get back to that later, but I think that once they establish an idea that's interesting, then it just starts throwing words out that most people don't know what that means, or throw them out in a string that are supposed to sound Shakespearean, or maybe it even is Shakespearean, but nobody knows what that means anymore. And so the movie, I feel, is just way too pretentious for its own good, and doesn't have any of that fun or interesting aspect that like The Godfather or any of those other movies have.
You know what it kind of felt like to me was, and I realized this like towards the end, the second time I watched it, which I will say the second time I watched it, I really did try to like, try to connect some things here so I can figure out what is going on for 2.5 hours. It didn't work, but I really tried. But I think one of the problems, it is a very pretentious movie, like way too pretentious. I think it was as if Francis Ford Coppola had watched like Brazil and thought to himself, I can make a Terry Gilliam style film, and I'll have like these deep metaphors, and sometimes they won't even be a metaphor. It'll just be a blatant statement against American culture, which is an interesting thought, because it's like American culture is kind of a giant mixed bag. So which part of it are you? Right. Because, hate to break it to you, all the characters that you just put on screen that you're trying to exploit or show as evil or bad, probably not on the side of things that you are trying to rip apart. So you're playing.
I didn't see any of the American culture involved in any of that.
But that's like, it felt like he was trying to make deep political statements, but in the style of Terry Gilliam. And the big problem is, two big problems. One, we don't need another movie with a giant agenda, so save your pretentiousness. And two, no one can be Terry Gilliam except Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
Like, Brazil is a wacky movie. That movie is off its own rocker, but it oddly makes sense. Like, it's strangely coherent as you watch it. If you just watch clips, you're going to be like, what?
Right.
But that's what Megalopolis seemed like to me, was Francis Ford Coppola was really forcing what he felt was this deeply meaningful statement kind of movie, but trying to do it in the style, maybe not exactly like Terry Gilliam, but it felt like a wannabe Gilliam film. And it failed on so many levels.
Yeah. There's just so many parts where it seems very... I don't know if it's expecting too much of the viewer, or if it's doing too much that the viewer can't keep up, or what. But like, there's just different phrases, different scenes, different, I guess, analogies that it tries to use. And then I always get caught up, I brought this up on the show all the time, where it's like there's a small, tiny little detail that they show, and they show you in a way you're like, this means something. Or like, it's not even an Easter egg where it's like in the background. It's like, there's this thing that is very clearly something that you could look up and figure out more about if you don't already know. So there's a scene where Julia goes to see Caesar for the first time, and it's in the club scene, and she's talking about how she dropped out of medical school and there's something to do with the jellyfish. I don't know the whole conversation. I tried to understand why she starts talking about a jellyfish.
I totally forgot about the jellyfish.
and how that pertains to her not finishing more than a year of medical school. But he's like going through her bag while she's talking, and he like pulls out her glasses, and he's not really listening to her. And then he pulls out a book, and it just shows the title of a book, and then he puts it back in, and it doesn't mean anything. But it's a real book. I Googled it, and I was like, pause, what is that? And it's the book is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, who's like a German novelist. It's a novel from the 1920s, basically about how to achieve understanding and enlightenment in life. And the way that you do it is you have to like live everything. You have to fully put yourself in the pain and all the carnal pleasures and all the stuff in order to really understand the world and how things work. And you can't do it through like normal academic means of trying to find the meaning of things.
You have
like
to
you can't
be a part of it.
Yeah, you can't use intellectual methods. You have to do it. And it's supposed to be like this life-changing book that this character goes through this stuff and does whatever, and I don't really know. But to show that book that nobody who's watching this movie has ever read or knows anything about or even recognizes the title, and have it supposedly pertain to her and how what she's doing and what she's going through and where she's come from and inform where she's going to go as a character, that's not good writing. That's not good movie making at all. It's like you could instead have her say, oh, I read this book and it's about this and it meant this to me and yada, yada, yada. Instead of being like, she has this book in her bag. See? Okay, moving on. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I kind of forgot that he pulls out a book. I forgot about the jellyfish.
They do a lot of stuff.
They do a lot of stuff. See, I know we're doing a lot of complaining, because there's very little that was actually interesting in the movie. Like very little. There was a lot. I think my biggest pet peeve with this movie, one, was just how pretentious it really was. That was a big mood kill for me, especially with the final shot of the movie, the new Pledge of Allegiance that the movie ends with. My God. So the first time I watched it and they did that, I literally sat on the couch and was like, is this happening? Was his vision that everyone in the theater would be like sudden full enlightenment or like,
yes, this is what we need.
This is it. We follow this.
Right.
I was just kind of like,
society has been missing.
I was just dumbfounded. And then the second time I watched it and it came up, I was like, this actually is in the movie. This is a part of the movie. I hate this movie. Like, I was like, I am not watching this a third time. Like, I hate this movie. This is a terrible movie. Anyways, the pretentiousness was really hard for me to get over. I was also, I get that he was not even trying to be subtle, obviously, with like the Roman Empire visuals and kind of mentalities of what we've learned about the Roman Empire and their history and stuff and certain aspects of it. I felt that too much dialogue, too much time was spent on trying to show the open sexuality of that time period, but putting it now. I really felt like how unnecessary all that was, because what I was hoping, much like you were, was this could be cool. It could be redeemed if it basically would have been the story of Caesar being betrayed, but, this futuristic modern time. That would have been interesting to show that style of like the political corruption, that style of Rome and the fall of the empire and the political system. But I was like, there were so many scenes in this movie and so much dialogue throughout the movie that I was like, is Francis Ford Coppola just really reduced down to a horny old man that like, this is what he's getting off to? Or is this what he actually thinks Rome was only about? Because Rome was way more than this. This is like all our country likes to focus on, but ancient Rome was violent. It was like it was a global power.
And there were certainly incredible parts too, and a lot of great inventions. Like it's certainly like technologies and aqueducts and everything that they created to make a giant empire. I think certainly feeds maybe what he's going for with Adam Driver's inventing abilities and city building abilities.
Yeah, I think it was like a very uneducated wannabe retelling in a very pretentious way, making a statement. See how incoherent all this gets? Like,
yeah, it's kind of just like an extreme caricature of a thing that you have heard of secondhand, and just focusing on those things. Yeah, I liked the idea, or where I thought the movie was going would be that political rivalry thing, and that there's this guy that maybe even wants the best for humanity, or maybe he has ulterior motives or whatever, but humanity could evolve and society could improve and advance in ways, but there are all of these competing powers that kind of don't want anybody to win if they can't win. Like if they can't be the ones in power at the end, then they'll just burn it all down, even if it means nobody ever gets anything good or advances. But it never goes there. It kind of cops out and it's like, and we get everything we ever wanted, and it's amazing.
Like,
yeah, I did like, so I agree with you totally about all of the debauchery and the Rome stuff. There was one part though that I was interested in and did like, I think, what the message was, or what the message could have been, and that was when Wow married John Voight's character, and they had the big Coliseum gladiator games and stuff.
You just like and the wrestlers that show up.
Well, I like the wrestlers for sure. I was more interested than not. But when the Virgin comes out, that like pop star in the mega dress, that what I think that meant, and then she's supposed to be a virgin, the Vestal Virgin, and all of these creepy old billionaires start bidding on her to marry her and deflower her, basically. And I liked the implication of what that means as a society, that she is a pop star, a young pop star who has success or is given success or whatever, and is now having basically her innocence sold off to the highest bidder, and then kind of like everything else, it ends up being a sham that not only is she not a virgin, but she's also not a young pop star. She's like 23 or something like that.
And then much like every other plot point in the movie, it goes nowhere.
No.
Like,
that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's...
But I think it could inform how many pop stars that we have that start at a young age then just completely fall apart.
The exploitation of like youth and innocence. I will concede that. I will agree with you
if
on
it
that.
Went there. But it doesn't go there. It goes somewhere else.
Right.
Briefly.
It might be the only plot moment that actually still kind of like does move forward for like 2 minutes, because they do like, hey, he got arrested for this because of the video. But then it's like the next scene, Shia LaBeouf gets yelled at by his dad, and then, now we move on like nothing ever happened, and that's the last time you ever hear of the Virgin.
There's a couple of scenes strung together that are now around this subplot.
That one moment.
Because then he gets arrested, and then so because he's arrested, Julia goes and finds the birth certificate of the pop star, and it's like, no, guess what? She's not 16, she's 23, and takes it to her dad, and he rips it up. He's like, well, that doesn't care. I still want to bring him down.
I'll get a new one. She literally says, I'll just get a new one. And you think, so what was the point of tearing it in half?
Yeah. And then it doesn't mean anything after that. He does get released, and pop
But
star.
it might be the only scene that actually like
strings
together a few.
Yeah.
With one thought.
That is true. That is true.
The Coliseum scene, I think, could have and should have been way more interesting with like the games and stuff. This is gonna sound weird, but like no one dies during the games, and I thought, well, that's interesting that they show it's like 3 or 4 different things during the games, but no one dies, so it's not like full Roman games.
Yeah.
And so I thought
it's like the Olympics or whatever.
Right. It's like
an exhibition.
And then you get the weird Cirque du Soleil acrobat dancer people, but then they also have like what is that called?
That guy dies. They move the net and then the guy, oh no, he doesn't. He grabs the rope at the last second.
Yeah.
I was going to be very excited when he died. I was like, oh, this is exciting.
Right. But no, he catches the rope. That's not in the shot when he falls, but then they changed the shot and the rope is there the whole time. It's
I thought that they were going to do more like mixing of modern and old events, because when they first get there and they're like kind of, raking the dirt or whatever, there's a guy on a 4-wheeler and they obviously have like motorized vehicles and stuff they're driving around, and I was like, oh, this would be cool when they get to the actual events, but it's just a normal chariot race with a horse and a buggy. Like they don't add any sort of vehicular
it's not
engines
even like
or
shot
anything
that well or interesting.
Well, not after you just watched Ben Hur.
Not after I watched this before Ben Hur.
Oh, okay. Then no. Still no.
But yes, if you compare it to Ben Hur, whew. Yeah, it's just like there were a couple interesting moments that should have gone somewhere. They should have been more relevant, like the opening, the gunshot scene with the kid shooting him in the face. That should have, honestly, like, the more I think about it right now, dude, if the movie would have ended with him being shot in the face and one of Lawrence Fishburne's random narrations right there at the end, not the pledge.
Yeah.
Just like his narration. Had that been the end of the movie, I think it would have been a very enjoyable movie because the ending would have been satisfactory.
Paid off, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt it going, and partly because of his arc.
Yeah.
He started to fall in love, he started to find joy, he started to care about, be fun. He started to be fun at work and trying to build towards this future. And that, I think, would be the perfect time to cut him down in the prime of his life and make a statement about it.
Yeah.
But they don't do that.
They don't do that. Him being...
You know what's weird? You finish your thought.
No, you go first.
Completely change the subject. When he's shot he's being reconstructed, this reminded me of a whole thing about his wife. His dead wife. That is a string that does kind of make sense through the movie, is that he was married. She died. He got charged with her murder, I guess, and the mayor used to be a DA and prosecuted him, and he was acquitted because they couldn't prove it or whatever. She seemed to have overdosed, according to some headlines. But then Julia asks, why did her body disappear? I didn't really understand why that happened. But the weird thing is, okay, can't sum this up in a way to say the weird thing is there's a few weird things. One of the weird things is when Julia follows him and he gets the flowers at the place and he goes to the hotel and he goes upstairs and then the roses start flying up out of his bouquet, and then he goes to the bed and there's a dead lady there. I assumed she was dead. She is dead, but she's not really there. I don't really know. She and he starts braiding her hair,
right?
And then Julia walks all the way in. Like, she doesn't look through a window. She doesn't do it. Like, she walks in the room essentially and sees him braiding air on this pillow, but knows what's going on, knows that he still loves his dead wife somehow. I guess because she has this power that I told you she must have with the seeing of the buildings.
Having a power.
It's the only thing that can make sense of the story. She has to know somehow something other than the plot said so, that she has to move it forward. And so Does Julia have a power? He's Googling right now.
It's
It'd be like Julia who?
So it's it's the third search when you do does Julia and Mega. It literally says Megalopolis have powers.
There you go. Everyone wants to know.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
You are...
Please say correct. Oh, no, I'm losing confidence.
Oh, the stuff is called Megalon. Okay.
Yeah, you were right. You said mega something.
I did. Okay. So this says, yes.
Perfect.
Julia gains time-stopping powers at the end of Megalopolis.
Well, that just does not work.
That is the only power
shoot
that this is saying.
Okay.
And apparently his power
Caesar
only works as long as his vision for a utopian future is clear. So if it's not clear, it doesn't work.
That's why he lost it.
That's why he lost it.
That doesn't make any sense. You want to know why? Because he uses his power when he leaves the Coliseum and he's like doing all kinds of drugs and he's super drunk, and not only can he stop time at that point, but he can move time in reverse, because there's one scene where the bottle unshatters. The bottle unshatters against the wall. He can reverse time in that moment.
She has to have powers.
Who?
Julia. Because
that's what I'm saying.
I know, I'm agreeing with you, but a different power.
Oh, no.
Because when they're like in bed together, when their love is first starting to blossom, and she comes up with that weird ball thing, it looks like she's controlling
She's levitating it.
Yeah.
She's levitating it, not touching it.
And then she even like pushes it into his face, and he's like, ow. And it's the only moment in the whole movie that I was like, that looked like a genuine take. That's like... So she has to have like some kind of... Dude, the more we try to talk about this movie, and I know we've just been
I think I just assumed that was like a... I assumed that was more of a technology thing than a magic thing.
Is that a technology thing?
Maybe. It's a hovering ball or something.
But she's like, haha, this is fun.
You know those Jedi games that you can get at Toys R Us that you can like make a ball hover it with your mind?
Think about
what blows air or something.
Think about what you just said.
You don't know that?
Toys R Us hasn't been around for a while, bud.
Oh, okay. Are they still bankrupt?
Kids, Toys R Us was a toy store when we were growing up.
Toy Stories was like Amazon.
And I
only
miss
the good
Toys
part.
R Us because it was a great place to go.
Oh, man, it's the best.
It was the best. It was so much fun.
So she either has the ability to see things that aren't there yet or anymore, or she has the ability to move things with her mind, or she has time-stopping ability that she got by having sex with Adam Driver.
I feel like you listed another power.
Or she has the power love this man and heal his broken heart.
Shut up.
And form a life that he always wanted.
You listed another power that you thought she had.
I think that she could see the buildings in his
That's
model,
what it was.
and she could see the dead lady in the bed when she's not there, and she knows
so she's got
what
like some
is
kind
missing
of
or
supernatural vision power.
Sight. Yeah, that's what I think. That's the only thing that makes sense to explain those two scenes in any way that's even coherent. So that's what I'm going to say has happened in my headcanon.
Jake, is it just me?
The whole point that we went down this thing is that I was trying to get to the wife's hair. Go ahead.
Oh, him braiding the hair?
Braiding the hair, but then when he goes and gets his face fixed at the doctor, they bring in a braid of her hair for some reason. They're like, we got one. And I don't know where that came from or what that means.
Is that what that was? Was hair?
It was a white braid of hair, just like his wife had.
Oh.
And nobody else in the movie has white hair like that.
I'm not going to
lie.
Like,
we got
when
this,
they brought it in,
thing.
they go, we got one. I was like,
yeah.
What?
Please tell me.
Like, what I miss here? Because I feel like I've missed a lot in this movie. Is it just me?
I'm pretty sure it was her hair, yeah.
Or as we have talked about all the scenes, this movie has gotten more incoherent.
Yeah. It's the opposite of Tenet. Tenet is the movie that the more you watch it and the more you talk about it, the more sense it makes over and over and over.
Because Tenet is actually a pretty simple story when you strip all
told
the...
in a complex way.
Yeah.
This is a complex story told in an incomplete way. And there's a lot of holes that you want
never
there
have
to
filled.
be. Yeah, you want there to be a path to something, but there really isn't. I think it tries to ask questions, maybe, and then make one answer, and the one answer doesn't really apply to any of the questions or the point of what you thought the movie was going to be.
Is Dustin Hoffman like an advisor of some sort?
I thought he was like a yeah, I think he's an advisor, but I kind of thought he was a little bit more on the dirty end, like maybe gangster adjacent.
Oh,
at least. I've used adjacent like 3 times in this episode, so hopefully
big words.
Nobody's drinking at that. Yeah. I need to find another word. Similar.
So another thing they could have gone with that would have been really interesting, because it was kind of like to me, it was a fun moment. It is a fun moment. So I will give credit to these few moments.
Okay.
But it was during the Coliseum scene where Shia LaBeouf is talking to his partner, protege, dude.
Yeah. The band guy that he grabbed off the street.
Right.
I was really worried that they were going to have like a menage situation.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not going to lie, dude. Had that happened in the movie, I probably wouldn't have finished the movie. I
was like, why is Shia LaBeouf and these 2 girls grabbing this random bassoon player off the street?
Yeah. But he's talking to the guy. Is it right after the fake video gets played? But he's talking to the dude, and he tells him, like, and now there's a big sign over the city that says city for sale, and he does, like, the square, and it shows, like, the for sale sign. I thought that was interesting, and I thought this could be this might make the rest of the movie interesting if they follow, like, oh, so that's the point of Shia LaBeouf, is he just threw the wrench into the whole thing to kind of
He's the Loki character causing chaos.
Yeah, like, he's the one that's going to burn the whole place down. This could get really, really interesting. Of course, it doesn't go anywhere after that. The city's not for sale, which I was kind of bummed about, because I was hoping for, like, that could be... Yeah. That would have been interesting to watch, like, Caesar struggling with, paying people off, or, like, to show that darker side of him, or to show the darker side of the mayor, LaBeouf's dad.
Yeah, you could see the different fingers or industries of America, that Caesar is the invention, technology, just we will use technology and it will be our savior kind of guy.
Right.
And then Shia LaBeouf could be the power of the people, popular majority, mob leading you to destruction kind of guy. And then I guess the John Voight would be the banks control everything guy.
And then you have the mayor. But anyways,
politics.
Just that idea, I was like, this could be cool. Of course, it doesn't go anywhere, and I was like, never mind on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna bring up Shia LaBeouf in this movie for just another moment, because he has come out in like the last year, just completely blasting Hollywood, and like
I was trying to figure out at what point in his like excommunication from Hollywood and his salvation, he's very Catholic now.
Yeah,
this movie was, because I'm like, was it after you had your nose in Aubrey Plaza's butt crack?
Well, I kind of can't help but think that this movie was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Like, this was the final straw, considering the things his character does in this movie. Yeah, the cross-dressing, you never see it, but the fact that it's even implied and brought up numerous times in the movie, of like the incest. And then him and Aubrey Plaza, like, I couldn't help but think, like, I think this is the movie that did it for him. I think this was the one that made him finally see just how horrible Hollywood kind of tends to be, what it's doing to him and other actors and actresses.
Right.
Like,
and that there has to be more to life than all of that.
Yeah, I was like, I think this is a movie that made him be like, wow, Hollywood sucks. Like, I'm done with it. Because he has come out in the last year just blasting Hollywood and really blasting how it treats actors and actresses and people in general and the fakeness of all of it. And so watching Megalopolis, I was like, yep.
Has to be.
This has to be the
absolutely.
one. It has to be.
I haven't seen the whole podcast. I've been meaning to check it out, but I've seen clips of him talking to John Bernthal about like himself and his life and kind of what he's gone through. And it sounds really, really interesting.
Yeah, I've seen clips from that one. I saw clips from some show that he did like in the UK that he was coming out talking about leaving Hollywood in the dust. Yeah, I think it's really interesting that he's taken a hard stance against Hollywood, and it shouldn't be a surprise because over the last like 15 to 20 years, should we stretch it to 20?
Sure.
I think like we've really watched Shia LaBeouf kind of pull farther and farther away from Hollywood, and then he comes back in, and then he pulls farther and farther away, and then he comes back in. But it's been like this crazy self-destructive.
It seems like since Fury, maybe until this point, is he kind of had stepped away for a long time.
Yeah,
that was 2014.
You could blame Michael Bay for the Transformer movies. I know. You could blame Steven Spielberg for Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Oh. You can blame him for a lot of things, for sure. Who made Holes? That's really kind of what
that was a wholesome movie. That's a good movie.
Other than the show he was on. What was the show he was on? Even Stevens or something? Yeah.
Well, he did there was that there were a few years there where like he was doing really well. His movies were very enjoyable, you know, Holes from his childhood. And then I know I just made fun of him, but Transformers was entertaining. At least that first one was. I stand by that first one. That first one is still solid.
Oh wow! The director of Holes also directed Under Siege and The Fugitive.
Oh,
and Collateral Damage.
All right,
look at that, Mr. Andrew Davis.
But then he did that. He also did. No, stupid IMDb and your stupid ads all of a sudden. Golly.
Yeah.
What was that one where it was like the modernized version of Rear Window. Yes. That was actually entertaining.
It was good. I think I was the only person in my friend group when I saw that. I think it was like early 2000s or something. That was like, this is Rear Window. And everybody was like, what's Rear Window?
You were like, oh, kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you something.
Yeah. I love Rear Window. I think it was the first Hitchcock movie I ever saw.
Eagle Eye was the other one.
Oh, that movie was interesting.
That was.
It was like a twin?
Yeah.
That might be a spoiler for that movie.
No, they talk about it pretty early.
Okay. That was interesting.
That was an interesting movie.
Kind of like, it was in the same vein as like Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like, this is an interesting idea.
Where it was like, AI is evil. We should stop trusting it.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, Megalopolis. There were a couple of interesting things that I liked that I felt like, even though it didn't really do much, I just like the style choices. I know I complained about doing things just because they looked cool before. I did like the statues crumbling as Caesar was driving.
I agree. That actually looked pretty cool.
I did not like immediately after you see Lady Justice like drop her scales and her sword and take her like blindfold off and like fall to the side, that Julia in her stupid car behind her is like talking into a recorder. She's like, injustice is everywhere. And I was like, I understand. I just saw the imagery in front of my stupid face. You don't have to like explain it to everybody that we all know already. But then there were those other statues as well, and I was like, this is interesting.
What's funny about that was I had to question that scene the first time I watched it because I was like, are these statues actually falling down? Like, are they taking breaks after a long day? Like, is Julia seeing these as well? Because she does say, like, and there's injustice everywhere. I think she says something else, or maybe she doesn't. But I liked that imagery of him seeing them fall. It would be so much cooler if it actually had implications or actually meant anything to Caesar's character.
Yeah.
Because he's watching it fall and he's got that like solemn expression of, you know, staring out the window, and he's all sad watching these statues give up, you know, these images give up, these principles, but he just doesn't do anything about it. He never seeks out justice. He never seeks out, like, he's just all about, I'm gonna tear down this place so I can build a new one.
They don't restore all of those principles.
Right. There's at all.
To the city.
Instead, you mentioned
Instead, they have the new pledge.
You mentioned it briefly. Instead, we end up with him in the office being rejuvenated by his passion for work.
Yeah, he's fun now because
he's
she
fun
loves
now
him.
By telling people to make shapes and structures with their bodies in the most like incoherent method I've ever seen portrayed in an office.
That like game they play. I guess it's a game. I was like, this can't be helping you build the city.
It was like he's all maintain the shape, and the same shot they're like trying to balance human pyramid-ish on each other, and it's like, what shape are we maintaining?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that. It has to just be like a team building thing or something. I don't know. I don't understand.
Like, I've been a part of some stupid office team building activities.
Yeah.
People give up pretty quick when like it's that pointless.
And that physically involved.
And that
as
physically involved.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough to do that.
This counts as overtime.
Right. Yeah. Maybe time and a half I would do it for that.
So you've shared some critiques, as have I.
Yeah.
But what you haven't said is
if I like it or not.
Is whether A, you like it or not, or B, if you thought the 4.7 is justified, like what I said, which was kind of forgiving, or if it's too low.
Okay. I have a hard time answering that question, and that's mostly why I haven't yet, because I haven't really decided. I don't enjoy how it went, primarily because I think the movie that I wanted and the movie that I thought I was watching was a much better movie. And I think that there's a lot, I think it wouldn't be hard to make it a much better movie. And that's frustrating that I feel like you had nuggets of interesting things that you could have used or done or whatever, but you chose to focus on these other things instead, or not follow that thread or whatever. And that's fine if that's the story you wanted to tell. That's not the story I wanted to watch, I guess. And so I didn't like really the movie that I watched, although it has enough of that weirdness that is kind of fun how weird and bad it is.
Oh, man.
For me. And so it's not The Room fun.
Right.
But it's I'm trying to see where I would put it compared to Madam Web, because Madam Web is like bad and fun. It's not like the most fun. Like, it's not super fun. It's not The Room either, but
it's really close to The Room, though.
It's pretty close.
It's really close.
I think the reason it's hard to categorize it is because Madam Web and The Room are so coherent. Like, they're silly and dumb in ways that don't actually matter and also aren't confusing. It's like, that's ridiculous, whatever, that's so stupid. This movie is like, I don't get it. And I don't think Coppola got it. And I think that he maybe could go on and on about, oh, it should have been this, or I had this vision and what it means is, what is this, blah, blah, blah. But I think I could listen to him describe all of the things that he thinks it is or thinks it ought to be or could be to anybody. And I would say, no, it's not. Or, but what about this? If you say that means this, then what about this thing? And he'd be kind of, I think there's too many pitfalls so that he would easily get caught up in his own bullshit is what it seems like. That's the pretentious part, is that it should be this thing. Because I think it
already does get too caught up in all of that.
Yeah, it gets caught up in it, and maybe it should be that thing, but you directly divert it and undercut your own message in so many ways that it can't be that thing also. So you're part of the problem, Mr. Coppola, I would say. So it's hard. I think I totally get why it's a 4.7, and I would totally get if it was a 3.0. I wouldn't argue that and say, no, it's a much better movie than that. But I wouldn't complain if it was a 5.0 either.
Really?
I don't think. Well, 4.7 is pretty close. I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't say it's a 6. It's definitely not 6. I wouldn't complain it was a 5.3, maybe. That's fine. It's fine. It's just such a weird movie. It's unique, and maybe that's good, but it's weird. And most of the things that I dislike the most are messaging things and maybe personal things that some people be like, this is perfect. This is exactly what we should be telling people. This is exactly what society needs. You're ridiculous and wrong for thinking that, because it's actually very harmful and problematic. But someone would rate it highly for that reason. I would not, because then it feeds entirely back into that. I was interested in the premise, and then you completely lost me in the plot and killed it in the payoff, basically, because like I said, I bought completely into the beginning. The opening premise carved in stone with the American Republic is the new Rome, and is it going to fall? And then Lawrence Fishburne has that whole monologue about, when does an empire die? Does it die overnight, or does it start dying when people no longer believe in it? I was like, yes, people believing in the thing that they are participating in definitely aids to it being upheld. I totally am into this whole idea. And I give Megalopolis a lot of, I guess, grace, because the title card says Megalopolis, a fable. So immediately it's not completely literal. Like, there's definitely going to be some like analogies and things throughout. But okay, quick sidebar. I was just looking at my notes about the title cards. It's at the beginning when it says New York, New Rome. It says the movie takes place in the 3rd millennium, but it's the 21st century. Mr. Francis Ford Coppola, you don't know what a millennium is. You can't be the 21st century and the 3rd millennium at the same time. I think he means 3rd era, like you have BC, AD, and now there's something else.
Right.
I think that's an era. I don't actually know. But it's not a millennium. Millennium is 1,000 years. So we're in 3,000 in the 21st century. Mr. Coppola, come on. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. He's like, it sounds cool to say it's the 3rd millennium, but it can't be the 3rd millennium.
So I was looking up some like reviews on IMDb just to see like the consensus while you were talking. And a lot of the people that posted reviews are all saying kind of what you and I have said, where it's like, it's weird. I'm a little shocked that a lot of people are being so gracious to the movie.
Yeah.
A lot more people are siding with you.
Okay.
At least from what I read. There's one person who gave it a 10 out of 10. There's one person that gave it like an 8 out of 10, saying, if you know history, you'll understand this and love it. And I'm like, I do know history, and this movie does not. And as you just pointed out, the movie can't even get the timeline correct. So,
right.
But it is interesting.
Maybe he would say that time can be bent and controlled.
Oh, maybe it's Caesar controlling.
Yeah. It's the 21st century, but it also has taken longer, so it's really the 3rd millennium at the same time.
Because he's been stopping it so often throughout his life.
And he's been alive since the beginning of time, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
he's
wait,
a vampire.
Couldn't it be from the beginning of his life because he invented the stuff like right at the beginning?
The stuff doesn't control time.
Well, but it said that he can only use that power when he has. Oh no, when he has the clear vision. When he believes in.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to believe in, which is kind of like being a Jedi, I guess. So that you.
Well, he did.
All you got to do is start believing. That's true.
He was a Jedi.
Anti-Jedi, yeah.
So
it all ties back to Star Wars.
More!
How much that sucks. So most people.
Are saying they're giving it grace because of how weird it is. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what you're saying is there's enough there that they can enjoy parts of it or the idea of it, and then still make fun of it relentlessly for how terrible it is. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie I've ever seen. I've definitely watched worse. It's not the movie I thought it was going to be, much like you said. I really do wish it went in different directions. I really wish it would have gone more of the route of a modern retelling of the betrayal of Caesar. Because I think it just would have driven his point home without being like pretentious or overly preachy. It would just be hey, this happened. We should probably, this will probably happen again. I would rate it a 3 though. Not that it's the worst movie of all time, but because the content really did annoy me so much. Where the emphasis of the content of the content was put in places that I felt was so unnecessary instead of where it should have been placed. That would have been
to actually tell the story, or the moral of the story that you wanted to get across.
As you were talking earlier, though, I kind of can't help. I was thinking back on Coppola had this idea. So he's been working on this idea since, when did you say? 1970?
77. Yeah.
Makes me wonder if it was too much time for him to think on this, which just constantly was having him second guess or add or take away certain things, that by the time he actually wrote the script and started production, I can't help but wonder if he found himself in a moment of oh no, I literally can't afford to change anything to fix anything. I'm actually stuck with what I have.
Yeah, I think that too. I think that also, you think about it so much, the story and the world can get so big, and he only has enough money to make one little movie, that maybe if he could get a trilogy made, there's a lot more movie and story and stuff that he could flesh out. I got that perception for sure with Dustin Hoffman being killed off randomly and having a little flashback. I'm like, this clearly was a whole other scene and thread that we were supposed to follow. Yeah. But you just have to squeeze it into this one film and then cut it down to fit the budget that you can get to make it. It just definitely didn't seem like it was going to be successful.
It does make me wonder what his original cut time was. It had to have been close to 4 hours, if not more.
Oh yeah,
it had to have been.
Yeah.
Which then begs the question, why would you not try to sell it to Prime or sell it to one of the streaming services where you could cut it down in a mini series where it is suddenly. Then again, I know he wanted it to be seen on the big screen, but you can show exclusive stuff that's on streaming in theaters. They've been doing it.
Yeah, you could form some huge deal if you wanted to.
I feel like there was marketing mishaps. I think there was just too much time in between him with the idea and then never it really sounds to me like he was never satisfied with where it was all the way up until when they started filming it in like 22 or something like that. Because they filmed this a while back, didn't they?
I actually don't know.
Because I don't think they filmed it actually in 24. I think it was filmed, if I remember right. I might have that wrong. I might be thinking of a different movie.
That's probably true.
But it just seems... I think it's a good example of the importance of when you're creating something to just let it be what it needs to be instead of forcing expansion.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I could see that for sure. Yeah, I think my main hang up comes down to the movie not ending up being the movie it told me it was going to be. Like, you told me at the beginning that it's a movie about this premise and the American Republic and can we preserve our past and our wondrous heritage. You didn't show me any wondrous heritage or past that's worth preserving, let alone whether we did or not. Or if we're going to fall victim, like old Rome, to the insatiable appetite of the power of a few men. Well, nothing collapses or falls victim to anything. Caesar succeeds and forms this megalopolis and a utopia, and everybody is happy-go-lucky. There's no problem at all.
Right. Even the mayor hops on his people mover and is like, I love Caesar, even though he just spent the whole movie threatening his life and his career.
Yeah. And so for that to fail, to meet the premise of the movie is a big problem. And then to end up at that Pledge of Allegiance.
Dude, the Pledge of Allegiance.
That is just the worst. My main problem is that there's nothing American in it.
Yep.
That it's completely... It seems to be that the point of the movie is that America and its wondrous heritage is not important at all.
Yep.
And that only humanity and all humans are the same and all of this stuff and all countries and all governments and all stuff is the same. That we should all join forces and be ruled under one world government like the United Nations or something, or a EU or whatever, is just the most preposterous thing.
Yeah,
that you pledge allegiance to a human family and all the species that you protect. Like, first of all, I'm going to say, I don't believe in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States on its face. Like, I don't believe that you should pledge your undying fealty to anything, no matter what, especially when it's not perfect.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to say that you should do that. But then to have this other thing where it's like, let's not just do this small little country. Let's do it to the whole world where everybody is now the same. And I pledge my allegiance to all of that and all of these animals and bugs and stuff.
It like takes this very forced hard turn into, wow, we're really going to make a lot of people mad with our final statements here. You being like, I don't believe people should give their fealty to this. And I'm going to say it takes this very hard, I think very ridiculous. And it's a good example of that ridiculousness into, pledging fealty into like this hyper extreme liberal mentality.
It's a very humanistic.
Very humanistic. And obviously like our views and beliefs and stuff rub people wrong. Get over it. Like, we follow what's actually truth and sustainable and substantial. So, right.
Not trying to imagine some magic utopia. And I think that's the problem, is that it's like a pledge allegiance to one Earth, indivisible.
It's like,
okay.
It's like the worst tree hugger, like, vegan, no offense, vegans. Oh,
a little.
A little. It's the most ridiculous thing. And it was like, when the pledge came out, I mean, the first time I almost thought I was dreaming. Like, this isn't actually in a movie. is it? And then I saw it the second time and it confirmed. And I was like, yep, hate the movie. Can't stand, like, I'll never watch this movie again. Primarily on that pledge at the very end. But, yeah.
Right. Just the writing of it feels very high school freshman level of thought process.
It's not even high school. It's like college freshmen trying to get in with the liberal arts students. Like, it's, I think it's a dangerous thing. Actually, I think it's a very dangerous way to conclude the movie.
Me too. And I think that's my main problem, and particularly the last part of it, with long life, education, and justice for all.
Yeah.
That you're going to remove life and liberty
and the pursuit of happiness.
And One Nation Under God and all that stuff. I understand people don't love all of that, but it is important for humanity to have something bigger than yourself that you are attaining to, that this isn't all you have, that if this is all you have, then you're not going to take care of it. Right. And you're not going to take care of it for everybody else, really. But for it to be about education being the most important thing over liberty, and it just speaks to, if we have the right person in charge of this thing, that we will have this great utopia, and we just need Caesar. We need a Caesar is what this movie is saying. And that is the most dangerous thing you could have, because he blew up blocks of people's houses to build his thing, and they were all very mad at him.
Well, and not just that, but like, hey, look at the history of Rome. Yeah, there's some great, great inventions. There was some great, jumping off points. Guess what? There's a reason why Rome was considered like the most corrupt, the most like egregious, and guess who led it? Caesar. Caesar is known, like, they're always known, who's ever bearing the title, as the corrupted one. Like, you are not good, despite what the words might make people feel like. You are not actually good. People, come on. It's like this.
Yeah. It's just the nature of power that you cannot attain that. It is completely immoral to exert that much coercion on anyone, let alone masses of people. In an individual person, it's immoral, but masses of people, it's beyond that.
Yeah, it's just
ridiculous.
I can't think of another example, at least not right now, of a more pretentious and just actually, like, it might actually be kind of offensive to me. It kind of is. Like, but utopians are not, they look good on paper, but the reality of a utopia would be the worst thing ever, because...
Yeah. And I think that you don't have to go far in history to see all of the people that have tried to form utopias, communists and etc., that have also created the greatest atrocities in all of human history, to try to achieve that goal. So maybe there's a problem there that we can just not get around.
Right. Like, but people don't want to learn their history. They don't want to. Don't take offense, Jake, but they don't want to read. I
know how to read.
I know.
I read okay.
I know. And
I read good.
I read good. But yeah, I think it's just quite the mess of a movie. What that being said, for us spending 2 hours just shaking our heads about it, what'll be funny is I will probably forget that this movie exists within a month. But I'll never forget Jupiter Ascending and the stupid dog boy ice skating in the sky. So is it worse than Jupiter Ascending or on par?
I would say worse, just because it's not nearly as enjoyable.
It is worse.
For sure.
I'm going to use a different adjective for me.
Yeah.
Because it's so much more forgettable.
Yes. Yes.
Because I wouldn't say Jupiter Ascending was enjoyable. I was...
Okay. Fair enough.
That was a pretty wretched film. But
to put it in wrestling terms, the worst thing that you can have is for the crowd to be apathetic. They either need to love it or hate it. And so for you to hate it, good enough. Perfect.
Right. But my hate won't sustain because I'll probably forget the movie exists shortly.
Right. No, I mean, hate Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that movie's so bad. Like, no wonder the Wachowskis don't really have a career in Hollywood anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wachowskis.
So, yeah.
You made like one great movie. Thanks.
It's true.
Of course, you ruined that one with the 4th installment.
Yes, sadly.
Video games. Good.
All right. I think that's enough.
I think that's enough. Yeah, so we've got... It'll be like a polar opposite style episode next time.
Yeah, now we have the problem of discussing 3 of the best movies ever made, possibly.
Yep.
Top 100, I think, at least.
Yeah.
Doing all of Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, trying to fit that all in one episode is going to be a challenge.
I actually think we're going to do it. I think we're going to achieve it. I really do.
Okay. They all flow and tie together pretty well, so...
I think we've got this. Yeah, very excited for that one. This has been an episode long overdue. But it was time. So,
yeah. And then after that, we're doing our random 10. So make sure you start watching your 10 movies because you got 4 weeks left at the time this comes out.
Have you started yet?
Before that episode comes out. I've watched one so far.
Okay. I've watched.
I watched the one with that guy. What was it called? You Might As Well Live. I watched You Might As Well Live.
Oh, okay. I watched that one too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that'll
be interesting.
There's a lot of really interesting, fun movies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, either watch the last episode, listen to the last episode, the rookie director debut episode where we picked 10 movies and really figure out which ones we're watching, or just go to Instagram and see the full list and also where you can watch them primarily largely for free. So we want to make sure you're in the loop and enjoy the next episode after the Nolan episode.
Enjoying or suffering, it's your pick.
Along with us.
Yeah.
If you're on the ride, whatever it is.
Cool.
All right. And let us know what you thought about Megalopolis. And if we missed anything ridiculous that we need to figure out the reason for, or if we're right or wrong or whatever you think, we want to know. We want to hear from you.
I feel like someone's going to be like, you guys didn't even watch the movie. There's so much dialogue that tells everything. And we'll be like, oh, take your word for it.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Cool.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Woohoo.